Hello, I'm going to present an informative video on the sesame plant. First, we're going to go into the production of the sesame plant, and with that, I'm going to discuss the country of origins. The sesame plant has two variations and thus two origins. There's the wild species, that is from the sub-Saharan Africa, and it's from the genus Sesamum. The more cultivated species is from India, and that's from the genus Indicum. Both of these areas of original growth are known to be dry regions. The biomes and/or climate of the country of origin. So, the sesame plant grows in drought conditions and high heat with leftover water in the ground after the monsoons are gone, or whatever rain falls. The sesame is known as a survivor crop, and they can grow in areas where no other crops will grow, and it's perfect for subsistence farming. So the climate is very warm and it's very dry, and it's in areas that are near the equator. The major top five varieties of the sesame plant grown, like I said, there's only two. There's only the cultivated type, and then there's the kind of natural wild type. But there's also variations within the seeds themselves after they're harvested. You have the black sesame seed, the white sesame seed, the red sesame seed, the brown sesame seed, and the yellow sesame seed. The difference in color doesn't really affect the composition of the plant or the seeds themselves, but just the darker the seed, the more robust the flavor. There are current major top 5 production countries, and they are Myanmar, India, China, Ethiopia, and Sudan. The inputs used to grow the crop and the factors include warm conditions above 23 degrees Celsius, and warm conditions favor a higher growth and a higher yield than compared to maybe a lower temperature or too high of a temperature. The farmers also use fertilized soil through commercial fertilizing, and they also favor a lack of wind, just because when the harvest is too dry, or when it's dry and ready to be harvested, the wind could cause damage to the seeds. There's also a need for adequate moisture. That usually occurs after the monsoons occur, and then farmers also look for a neutral pH for soil. The days from planting to harvest are 130 days, and usually it's on average 100 to 150 days. Common harvesting practices. Some harvesting is done mechanically, but a lot of it is done by hand, and this is just due to the fact that the plants and seeds have a less chance of being damaged or being lost, because again, they are dry and they are kind of fragile. The plants are placed and cut into around 10 stalks, with the whole plant intact except for the leaves. They dry until they reach a golden color, almost like a really tasty loaf of bread. They can be stored here for up to 5 years without worries of spoilage. The parts of the plant that are used as food. The seed itself and the surrounding husk are used for food content, and they are put into products for like just the whole sesame or sesame oil. Now we're going to get into the transportation and processing aspect of the sesame plant. What are the main food products purchased by consumers after processing? Well, there's the sesame seeds, the sesame oil, the sesame powder, and the sesame paste. What kind of processing is involved? Well, when the whole plant bundles are sent to the commercial plant, there is a raw material inspection, the storage of the raw material, and then the soaking of the plants, the dehulling of the plants so that the seeds can be separated from the hull, washing of the seeds, fine washing of the seeds, the dehydrating and drying of the seeds, even more drying. Then there's fine sorting, and magnetic sorting, which is sorting by weight because they want kind of a uniform weight, color sorting because they want a uniform color for the seeds, packing, and then storing. And a lot of the leftover seeds that don't make it through the sorting or even the hulls are used for sesame oil, so there's not too much waste to the plant itself. The processing is generally done in a commercial plant. How do the crops get to that location? The plant, once harvested and bundled, can be transported through the use of trucks, planes, or practically any form to get to the commercial plant. How is the final product packaged and transported to the end consumer? The seeds are sorted according to the physical look of the seed as well as the weight. They look for uniform color, and the immature or disproportionately sized seeds are removed but saved for oil production, as I said before. They are packed into tins or bottles or cartons depending on whether the product is solid or liquid. The product reaches the consumer in a similar fashion as how the crop got there in the first place, through cars, planes, or automobiles, and they're sold in supermarkets or wholesalers. Other important non-food uses for the crop include a solvent that is injected in drugs or intravenous drip solutions. There are coating to prevent weevil attacks, and the oil has synthetic energy with some insecticides. The sesame oil is also used as low-grade oil used in locally produced soaps, paints, lubricants, or luminants. Which countries are the end product's largest consumers? Generally, they're the Asian countries just because they like to use them in cooking, but they're Japan, India, China, Korea, and the United States. The nutritional aspects and value of the final product. There's a long shelf life. There's a high level of natural antioxidants. They're rich in omega fatty acids. They have high levels of natural protein. And in regards to the final product, some of the nutritional calcium and thus the nutritional value is lost just because the sesame seeds are separated from the hull, and the hull has a lot of natural antioxidants and calcium. There is definitely a cultural significance of the sesame plant. In Assyrian folklore, the gods consumed wine made from sesame seeds. In the Hindu religion, sesame has the power to create immortality, and the god Maha Sri Devi's characteristics are embodied from the sesame seed. The oil is used in Hindu prayers and rituals. In Wiccan culture, the seeds are used. According to a Wiccan encyclopedia, sesame is used to help with conception, protection, and to increase the amount of money that one person has. So, hopefully with all this information about the sesame seed, you can fill up your seed booklet and you've definitely learned a lot more. Alright, bye.